everyone, and welcome back. I'm back with more of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, Trials and Tribulations. Last time we went through another investigation and we learned a lot of information. We learned that, we learned about Dahlia Hawthorne, that she actually has a twin sister, who is Iris, and that they are both the daughters of Morgan Fay, who is Mia and Maya's aunt. And yeah, just a lot of information came to light, and now we are going to begin the second day of the trial. So let's get started. February 10th, 9:39 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1.
Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself?
Morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, please tell me what's going to happen to Mystic Maya?
I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
Oh, I see. So, is Sister Iris still trying to move those trick locks in the training hall?
No, she's the defendant's case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court.
Then, how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
I have to admit, it's kind of strange. Okay, I don't know who's saying this. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Okay, I figured it was either him or Francisca. Edgeworth, what's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Oh. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. Francisca and Karma, what are you up to? Is it Francisca? I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. Knew it. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godo? Godo. Francisca is engaged in some important work in the Sacred Cavern.
The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's...
Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godo intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché, I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. Well, that's good, at least he's feeling better. It's strange, on the way here I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you passed your cold onto someone else. Literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Oh. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donham. No, I mean Miss Misty Fay. Right, that's something else we found out. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. February 10th, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 7. Court is now in session. for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Calm down, Phoenix. You'll be okay. Your Honor, what are you... Who, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a... He passed the cold on to the judge? Don't even know how that happened, but okay. Anyway, all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. My poor brother, he looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. Well, looks like you're right, Edgeworth. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel a need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godo. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godo, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There is only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean, forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Oh, really? Confession? The defendant? Iris. Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training in the Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is there something that you want to confess to?
Yes. But first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's alright. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donham?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it.
Oh. What? Order in the court! Order! Witness, are you saying you are an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that's correct.
What? 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Ha! Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? That Godo. So this is a confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris is covering for someone? Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket.
I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself if need be to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Feng.
Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya! Order in the court! So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer.
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
Objection!
That's ridiculous! Maya could never do such a... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. Yeah, I kinda did. The real murderer.
I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff.
Wait, what?
While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
So it was in self-defense?
Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Okay. Let me kind of go over the evidence real quick. Okay, fine, I'll just sort it out as I go, I guess. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple.
Objection!
Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? It was in the inner temple's training hall. A private conversation between you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness?
I just couldn't tell him the truth at that time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she?
Okay, we're going down this rabbit hole again.
I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder.
There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden?
Well, Your Honor...
You're saying that the victim attacked Miss Faye?
Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse.
What were you doing at that time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting?
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock.
That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. What happened after that? She moved in to deliver a fatal strike?
Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute! What was this weapon?
It was some kind of dagger.
A dagger, huh? And Miss Elise Stoneham tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye?
Yes, exactly.
Huh. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony you're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris's testimony? I assume there's one thing. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless. Oh, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, someone say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now, let's continue. Yeah, I have a little problem with that. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger. She threw her staff away? Yes, another reason for Godo to be so popular because he thinks he's Von Karma. Oh boy. And welcome to the stream, Ashi. How you doing tonight?
Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon.
It's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff?
Yes, that's what I saw.
Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yeah, it's odd, alright.
Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with a dagger. I'm sure of this.
And then?
Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike.
Well, witness, are you absolutely certain?
Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something...
Maya Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. Yes, I see. This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Unless I find a contradiction in her testimony, Maya is going to get blamed for this.
I only have this to say.
So you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Stoneham? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw?
Yes.
Objection!
Tis tried. If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this! I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get, Wright. It's called evidence. Now hurry up before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Godo waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, let's hope I'm getting this right. Yep, there we go. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Miss Stoneham throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with a staff is hit someone.
Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword.
Ah!
If Elise Stoneham really had one to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Sword cane, yo, yep. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigating, right? I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy, and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important... Kinda thought it was, but okay. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. Well, okay, I guess so. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument. Okay, go and save here.
Mr. Wright!
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Stoneham would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Oh, we're going with this, are we? Alrighty then. Well... Take that! Elise Stoneham would never have attacked Maya Fey.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise Stoneham. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey?
Ah! No, not Misty Fey.
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to...
Gee, what do you think? They have the same last name.
Misty Fey is the master of the cry and channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? So does Morgan Fey. True. Well, my point was that it would be obvious they're related, even if they're not necessarily mother and daughter. Anyway.
Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Stoneham actually the great mystic Misty?
There's no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years. She dead, yo! Welcome to the stream, Soup. How you doing tonight? Perhaps the prosecution could offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Ugh! Order! Order in the court! Yeah. Do you remember what happened to the other judge, Soup? Doing alright, actually on a quick break at work. Alright. Sounds good. What happened to Canada Judge? Apparently somehow he caught Phoenix's cold. I don't know how, since I don't remember them being in contact, but that's what happened. Anyway, let's continue. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, probably crossed paths at Tim Hortons. Oh, okay. And two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing. Yes, what is this one little impossible thing? Ha! You still don't get it? You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. How many cups of morning coffee do you need, dude? Anyway, you're going to ruin your health, my friend. Yeah, I'm gonna assume he doesn't drink decaf. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. Phoenix did come in contact with Gumshoe and Edgeworth and Von Karma, any of which probably went to City Hall and spread the illness to the judge. Okay, I guess that works in a roundabout way. Goto would sooner die than drink decaf, even if they themselves showed no symptoms, right? Yeah, that's what I figured, Ashi. No decaf for Goto. I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. The removal of caffeine from beverages has plagued bartenders and restaurateurs for centuries. You can't expect me to solve it overnight. Oh, okay. And he discovered this little beady. Oh, crap. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. Do you not notice something else? Yeah, I notice. Now that you mention it, if you look closer, there appears to be blood on it. There's blood on it. Where'd you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Incidentally, it is decaffeinated, not uncaffeinated, which means trace amounts of caffeine still exist in the coffee. Yeah, that makes sense. Huh? The pine tree? This dagger was stuck in the back side of the pine tree. Are we talking about this tree to the left here? That's a pine tree? Are you sure? I guess that's not important to the situation at hand, but it still doesn't look like one. Anyway, when the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Did you fingerprint the thing? Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Yeah, maybe. Did you test that? Huh. Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Flavor is lost in the cafe process, so many companies try to cut as little as possible. Be considered decaf. Ah, okay. Starbucks is just at the limit, incidentally. Ah, okay. Yeah, I've never been to Starbucks, so I don't know anything about their coffee. And again, how many cups of morning coffee do you drink, Godo? TLDR, decaf sucks, right? I never drank a lot of coffee myself, so I'm not an expert on that, but I can believe it. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? At least 13. Yeah, I'm with Phoenix, but I wouldn't put it past Godo to be able to drink through his cups of coffee pretty fast. I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I ordered that a blood test be performed on immediately. Yeah, is that going to delay the trial another day? I also enjoy a nice hot tea as well. Yeah, that sounds good. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Okay. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Dagger dagger added to the court record. Found behind a tree in the inner temple garden. The blood is being analyzed now. Okay, I imagine that will turn this trial around one way or another. Now then, the testimony we just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. There is also decaffeinated green tea, and I imagine the flavor also takes a hit on that as well. Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing. I've never seen decaffeinated green tea anywhere. Unbelievable. Cute girls never lie. Ever. Oh, sure. If you believe that, I know someone that can sell you the Taj Mahal for a nickel. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. It's basically always in tea bags. You won't find anybody selling it already brewed. Ah, okay. Gotcha.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor.
April May would have liked Godo as her lawyer. You didn't, isn't that the truth?
Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with a staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling a knife away, but then she collapsed.
That was a very heartbreaking story.
I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore.
That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Mystic Maya... Oh, yeah. Mystic Maya... Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with a staff.
Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all this?
What do you mean?
Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle.
I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so... I think that's why they didn't see me.
So it was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Miss Maya Fey do after she was struck? What happened to the victim's staff then?
I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated.
That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger.
Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike. But Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up.
Nothing sounds especially strange yet. What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her? You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim?
Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time.
Yeah. I bet she wasn't.
After all, her life was in danger.
Well, okay, that's not what I meant, but okay.
After all, her life was in danger.
I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point is just silly. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. What now? I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. You're the one who started it. Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next? Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw?
Yes, I'm almost certain.
Almost.
The garden was dark.
Gotta go back. I'll return at lunch. Alright, see you later.
Take care, Soup. I couldn't really tell who was who.
What did she just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely.
Objection!
We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Donham. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet.
Well then, witness, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. The two of them faced each other for a moment.
Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise stumbled over and fell to the ground.
So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh?
Yes. Mystic Elise managed to fling that.
Where did that dagger go?
I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see.
According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck into the pine tree in the garden. Most likely it was flung towards the tree after the struggle. That is the most likely explanation, yes. After being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away?
Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while. And Mystic Maya stood there, not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over.
It seems like a reasonable story at first, but there's one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone, that alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere.
Okay, let's see here. Let me look over the evidence again.
Oh, right.
Sort of.
Oh, wait a minute.
His body fell 10 feet after death. Okay. Let me kind of double check this.
Okay, that wasn't it.
Okay, let's see here. Let me try this again.
Okay. Let's see here.
Objection!
Something about you just isn't right today, Iris.
Huh?
Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
Well, what do you mean? What's so wrong with my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct?
Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony.
Ah!
Well, what is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind.
Objection!
Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it?
Well, it's just...
If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee, but to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on that, what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Goto, explain yourself! The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor, but according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, On the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the train hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Is that right, Trite? No! Order! 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 Here, Your Honor, let me present the stone lantern in evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind.
Stone lantern added to the court record. A lantern from the inner temple garden was not lit the night of the crime.
Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern, there's something written on it. Yeah. Hmm? Ooh. Well, what? It's written in blood. Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? It says Maya upside down. Well, what the?
Oh, yes. That's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
It certainly looks that way.
Objection!
Hang on a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense! This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle! Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Goto, anything further? Mr. Goto? Okay then, let's move on. Goto is literally shaking, and somehow, I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. Yeah, I don't think that's a problem for him. I believe it has now been established that Miss Donham was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We are all ears.
Sister Iris's cover-up.
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shishi Chito to alter the way the wound looked.
So you moved the body.
Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Stoneham was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor.
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body. But...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. So you waited until everything was over before making a move?
No, it's not like that.
Objection!
She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't it your job to judge, as the judge, to mediate the argument?
It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done.
So then you knew? You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey?
Yes, of course I did.
That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position.
Anyway, she is a very special person indeed.
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself?
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow.
The snow, huh? It's pretty amazing you can make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge.
It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age.
It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple.
I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible.
Huh. Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge?
Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, and...
The snowmobile? Knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Let me hear more about the snowmobile ride.
Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge.
Objection!
I'm sorry, witness. But now I've got a problem with your testimony.
Excuse me?
Godo, what are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall our comments on the subject.
Maybe, but when I made it back to the Hazakura Temple...
It was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean.
The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Order! Mr. Goto! Well, why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony? Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay?
Well, maybe. Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it.
You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Ha! Whatever. Even I don't think this is exhausting enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just... You'd better be careful in your testimony. That's all I want to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that.
Yes, sir.
What was that all about? Why would Goto want to give me a hint? Very well then, let's continue with the testimony. So you transported the body by snowmobile all the way to the Hazakura Temple courtyard?
Yes, I thought that way Mystic Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyway. And then
I want to go back and get the other hint. I mean, press the other part. Clues for the clueless is how the markets he markets Goto blend number 86. Alright. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride?
yes, I think they are.
But I could only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple.
I see. Snow was still falling, huh?
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped? That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made be added to the testimony. But does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Ha! This should be fun. Well, Judge, I think you're a sham! Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir.
There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true?
Yes, I am.
When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks are so clear.
That's right. I'm certain of it.
I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh? Well, what's going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than that movie, The Grid Revelations. Okay. Huh, well then, Mr. Trite, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us. Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather at the end of your index finger. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of.
stopped. By the time the road took place, the snow had already stopped. Just a sec. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's see. Found on outcropping near Dusky Bridge. I used the Shito to alert. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I dragged it behind me. Summer's fine. I dragged it behind me. What the heck is this? I dragged it behind me. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple. And I used the Shito to alter the way the wound looked. That part's not what's bothering me. It's these two statements. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry... Found an... This is some... Dragged it behind me.
Hold it!
By the time the murder took place, the snow wasn't that. Well, let's try this again. Dragged it behind me on. Wish we had a photo of the bridge as it looked. Forget it. I dragged it storm temple by myself. I thought I know what evidence you should present. Mia's oh gosh, don't start that. Oh boy. But yeah, I'm sure you actually do know. Unless it's been so long since you played this, but... Okay, let's see. Let me think here. Where are the lights on? Original. Snow with occasional lightning. Time 10 to 11 p.m. Cause awesome. Act body felt in. Body fell 10 feet after death. She's not talking about when that happened. It has been a long time. Again, if you get to 3 misses on the testimony, you can ask for the item to present on. Okay. How many misses have I gotten so far? I think was it just 1? I think it was just 1. This is the house of Hazakura Temple and just behind me on across Dusky Bridge. Dragged it behind. So I removed the body. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. Okay, no, not that. It wouldn't be that statement. So I removed the body by myself. I dragged it behind. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. There's still the problem. Behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Body fell 10 feet after death. Loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. Okay, that's not it. Well, I'm not gonna have 3 more chances unless I'm gonna have to reload my save, I guess. Cause yeah, I'm not gonna have 3 more. Luna, save scumming, I can't believe it. Well, I was gonna lose the game if I... never mind. I was gonna get a game over if I got it wrong again this 3rd time, so... yeah, that's what I have to do. Well, I guess not necessarily, but oh well. If you want to start over on the 3, I'll understand. Eddie, that was a joke. Okay. I couldn't tell for sure if it was or not. I thought it was, but I couldn't be certain. Let's see, I thought it was my duty to protect... Well, like I said, I know it's not that statement. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the... So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across the Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... snowmobile?
Objection!
Okay, let me read this again. The night of the head nun, remainder of the training to you. She said she walked from the earth. Let's recall our comments on the subject. Maybe. Oh, it's there by the main gate. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those... Body fell 10 feet after death. And it was at a spot where Larry could have seen it. Dragged it behind me all the way across Dusty Bridge. How many times have I missed now? Was it 2? Or just 1? 2, okay. Unbelievable. Well, okay, that's not going. Found on outcropping near Dusty Bridge. Came from the victim's staff. Came from the victim's staff. The only thing I'm worried about is, am I forgetting where this was found? Found on outcropping near Dusty Bridge. No, I'm not. I'm not forgetting it. I'm not remembering it wrong. Only part I'm not sure on is what evidence to present. Let's see. Because I have 2 pieces of evidence in mind. Found on outcropping. Because if she went across the bridge, she wouldn't have had a reason to go to that area. So it has to be one of those 2 pieces of evidence. I feel like it has to be. It's not going to be on this statement though. I dragged it behind me all the way across. Okay. I'm going to ask for one extra chance. In other words, 4 chances. Because I don't know, I'm not quite sure which piece of evidence to show here. I think it's one of these two, though. I think it's one of these two. So I want to try both of them before I get any help. I'm going to start with this, though. Okay, it's not that one. In further games, it doesn't auto-tell you, it just activates a consult option for it to tell you. Okay, gotcha. Well, if any of the further games comes out on PS4, that'll help me a lot. Or if I ever get to play. Okay. Anyway. Okay, this is my last chance, so if it's not this, then yeah, feel free to help me. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go. As much as I wish I could figure this out on my own, I think I'm kind of at the end of my rope here. So let's. I know what. Okay, run through the testimony again. Okay. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple. And... wait a minute, I'm forgetting about... dang it! I'm forgetting about what... Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple. And I used the Shito to alter the way the wound looked. That's what Bikini saw. It said she was claiming she saw her take the sword out of her? Removing the sword from the victim? Well... sorry. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Okay, that's the whole testimony there. Right here. Okay. Last statement. Okay. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Well, I know it's not the weather report. I already tried that. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Actually, wait, okay. Go back to I dragged it. Okay. I think I misread something there. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Yeah, I definitely think something seems off here. That's what's been bugging me this whole time. But I can't figure out what. Let me look through the evidence again. Let's see. I didn't try the map. It's something I looked at for frame of reference, but I didn't actually try it. But I don't think this would be it. Plus, I wondered, this is why I was wishing I actually had a picture of the bridge. I feel like, did she really drag it across the bridge, or was there something that would make that impossible? Something that would make it impossible. Did she really drag it across the bridge, or was there something that would make that impossible? Wait a minute. I already tried that. That's not... Was there something that... Administer the coup de gravy? Wait a minute. No. I dragged. Did she really drag, or was there something that was... No, that couldn't be it. Cause he saw this from the, what's that place called? Heavenly Hall. So it wasn't that. Was there something that could make that would make that impossible? Wait, no. Did she really drag it across the bridge, or was there something that would make that impossible? I don't know. I can't think what that... I kind of get what you're saying, but I'm not quite sure. Offhand. Oh, what am I saying then? Well, I mean, I don't know how to I don't know if I can describe it. Hang on a minute. Did she really drag it across the bridge, or was there something that would make that impossible? No. The gravy was, by the way. Yeah, no, I was just checking something. Yeah, I knew it was a joke. Taken by her only pupil. I didn't try this on this clue. I tried this clue on the last statement, and that didn't work, but I did not struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between them. Lightning struck the bridge at 10:45. Discovered the murder. Her bad back really bothers her. Well, that third sentence isn't important. Discovered the murder. Did she really drag it across the bridge, or was there something that would make that impossible? Little Karibo says you really need to chaz it up. Oh, okay. Wait, Little Karibo? Yeah, the Little Karibo. Okay. I guess I don't remember when he said that, but okay. Let's see, I dragged it behind me all the way. Snow approximately 7 to... Just now, he's streaming Duel Links. Oh, okay! I need to be playing that more myself. So, is he dueling Chaz or dueling as Chaz? I think Chaz is one of the unlockable characters right now, if I'm remembering right. I think someone just triggered the voice line. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up the game very well, so I can't remember what event is going on right now. Okay, let's see here. Snow, 7 to approximately 10:50. Forget the game, keep up with him. Okay, that too. This has been my regularly scheduled hashtag sellout. Okay. Okay, let me think here. Back to business. Back to this game. Back to Phoenix Wright! We'll talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Another time. Because I've already spent another 20 minutes just trying to sort this out. Let's see. Snow, 7 to approximately 10:50. 10 to approximately 11 p.m. for lightning. I still can't quite figure this out. I only have one penalty left. Let's see. Let me think here. Still did not try. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusty Bridge. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna try it. Because it's all I can think of at this point. Assuming it is a piece of evidence and not a profile I need to present. Dragged it behind me. Because I don't know. I don't think it would be a profile. I don't think it would be someone that stopped him. Stopped her from going across. Well, here goes. Oh, that was it. Oh my gosh. You claimed that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. Okay, so was this evidence? I just had the wrong statement. Okay.
You claimed that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible.
What?
This is the weather data from the night... Yeah, weather data. I kept saying weather report. This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time.
Well, why do you say that?
Because it was hit by lightning at 10:45.
Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire.
What did you say? The bridge? It was on fire?
Wait, you didn't know? What?
You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
Yeah, and that Phoenix ended up in the hospital.
What? But it can't be.
It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth. You can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney!
No!
Order! 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 The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court.
Seems a bit sus. I bet next she said she was doing tasks in electrical.
Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Oh, I thought he was talking to Phoenix. Me? How dare you! Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now.
What? It kind of... Oh, whatever, dude.
It's just a squat! The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but... Whether it's snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burned or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donham was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Right? And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Donham's body. Right? He makes a good point on both accounts.
That's right. I'm not lying.
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night.
She was... Wait a minute. Doesn't...
I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is still somewhat hazy.
Oh my gosh. This is going where I think it is.
Objection!
You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It is only human. Say nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna... Yeah, I'm not. It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, Wright, maybe you can explain this for the court. Well, what is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? Ugh! Well, not exactly, no. That's easy, the Canadian judge is a sham. Well, I'm not arguing that. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. The Looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Ah! Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more. Max can demonstrate by showing Max sample bust. Okay, fine.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contains a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Will this be her final testimony? I don't know. We'll find out in a bit. Moving the body.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross the burning bridge?
So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. There's a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. Could have used this sooner. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition.
Dusky Bridge photo added to the court record, taken the morning after the...
Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And Maya will be accused of murder. Try it. I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err. And... only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Is it really the final one? I guess that's all the judges are able to tolerate at this point.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to... Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body.
First off, I just want to take a better look at this photo. Okay, I guess offhand, she doesn't seem to be wrong about that.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just...
Well, let's press these first. Yes, but the snow had already stopped when the incident took place.
I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Goto said. The body did make it across somehow.
But you seemed to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? This is no joke! You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law!
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally it was,
You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it?
But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered.
I am Beauty Thief. You'll take the witness's cheese sandwich.
That was random. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. Yay for you?
Objection!
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Wright. What? Well, maybe she likes cheese sandwiches and Beauty Thief wants a snack. Maybe. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Are we really coming to this now?
Are you saying there's a way to cross the burning bridge?
Okay, hang on a minute. Let's also fallen or at stop, it doesn't matter.
So I'm... Doesn't walk out.
Okay. If I'm right about the evidence, it's either this one or the last one. It's either the first or the last statement.
Are you saying there's a way to cross the burning bridge?
Well, I do need to save here either way because I am down to my last possible penalty.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body.
Okay, I don't think it's this one. I think it's the last one. Again, if I'm right on the evidence, about the evidence.
Are you saying there is a way to...
Okay. Well, here goes.
Objection!
Gosh dang it! You finally prove your use in the last friggin' case, Larry, of course! Of course that's how it goes! A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. It's Laurice! Okay, whatever, I don't care right now. Laurice, whatever. Well, what? Huh, you're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case... I mean, I guess he had to be of some use to us eventually, and seeing as this is the last case of the trilogy, I guess it makes sense it would be now. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. I didn't get that. I didn't get to read that, but that was pretty good. Who is it? Who is this witness? I can't chicken out here. I've got to keep on the attack and go, go, go. Why is it always thin air? Why can't it be thick air for once? Chubby air. Mostly fit, but could stand to lose a few pounds air. I don't know. Miss Elise Stonham's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Wow, he actually did use that name. And highly gifted apprentice, Laurie Stoneham. Brilliant? Highly gifted?
Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony? That night, he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. How did you miss? Say that with a straight face. Did I? I don't know. Actually, how do you know I didn't? You can't see my face. that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it?
Nope.
Mr. Wright, are you serious in claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh, the judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Huh. Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Ouch. Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. Yeah, and? If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down?
Of course! I should have realized that myself. Upside down? Why did Goto say that?
Maybe next you'd like to cross-examine a parent? Oh, we've already done that. I know that was your point, but still.
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory.
What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. Oh, actually, hang on, that's not the right thing to figure this. Yeah. See, it didn't even occur to me. Anyway. Exactly what happened. And that explains what was bugging me about the autopsy report.
Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh!
Okay, Phoenix, thanks for that.
You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness.
What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear. Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air? Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet. Ugh, I wish they had. The witness was actually flying? Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're one cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time. Ugh. There must be some way. I just know it. There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened. Alright then, the witness will now return to her testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just got confused, I guess.
When you say it's literally what happened, that's what you're saying. That the body was soaring through the sky. Alright. Is this your homework, Larry?
I don't... Okay. Wait a minute.
Well, first off, let's do this again. Welcome back, Soup.
Objection!
Alright, let's try this again. Now it comes back to this. I can't believe we're learning this again. I admit that I didn't really understand it before, but I get it now. That's why I believe this sketch shows the truth. Very well. Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is the sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. This sketch drawn by... Well, if it's not... It's definitely not evidence of nothing.
So, maybe a complete contradiction? That's the only thing I can think of at this point.
Something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Laura Stoneham stated it over and over that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
It contradicts reality?
Huh. This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger pointing thing again. Okay, Trilogy. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it?
Oh, I have to figure out what... Gosh, dang it. Zephyrian metaphysics governs here. Okay. The only thing I can think of is this. Because I just looked at the map. I mean, not the map, the photo of the bridge. Here it goes. It's this wire connected to the bridge. I was referring more to the aspect of your will determines your reality. Right, yeah, of course. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wouldn't. I didn't. I know what Zephyrian metaphysics are. I wouldn't even. I don't. Never mind. I don't know how to say what I was. I wasn't even really thinking much about the statement offhand. But yeah, I get what you mean. Let's see. It's this wire connected to the bridge.
The wire? Ha. Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality.
Well, they actually you supplied that, Goto, old buddy.
Take that!
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct?
Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute.
In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge, Jabba Jehoshaphat!
Can't believe he actually said that.
The wires are below the guard wires. What? Order! 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 This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo.
Gee, you don't say.
However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point.
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong?
Yes! Yes, he drew it wrong because... Oh, gosh. Do we really have to point it out for these people?
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. With someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Laurice was doing when he witnessed this event? He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited. Finally, he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now, ponder what sort of position Laurice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Oh! Ugh, no way. Laurice Stoneham witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Laurie Stoneham's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right. Just like a pendulum. Ridiculous! Okay. Order, order, order! Of all the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. So this is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. Objection. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yeah, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. Danger, danger overheating! We need coffee! The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? Well, I hope this is right, or I'm going to have to start all over again from where I last left off.
Take that!
And the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Stoneham's body. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Ha. Look, look, look. Okay. Mr. Goto! Yeah, we lost him. It seems that Mr. Goto is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that's not an impossibility after all. Objection! Welcome back. Possible or impossible, that's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Try it. I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Well, it was Goto blend number 149, a rare blend. Fair enough. Let's see. Do you have any evidence the body was swung over like a pendulum? Well, I knew this had to come and play eventually, and this is all I can think of that it could be. So let's hope I'm right.
Take that!
Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. I will now, but no, I wasn't able to save while looking through the evidence. But I'll save now. Hopefully, not now, okay. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Yeah, but because if you save now and you're wrong, you'll soft block yourself, yeah. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple. So then, that was the spot where the criminal? Yes, precisely. Now, let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance. You can also have proven this with the autopsy report. Ah, okay. Fair enough. That makes sense.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. Yep, here we go. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this bloodstained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off Miss Elise Stonham's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found... Oh! Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with the way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Oh, I was wondering what that was. Mr. Wright, I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down. Well, what's the meaning of this, Mr. Godo? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Wright. But you forgot about one thing. Oh, and what would that be? The aroma. Uh-huh. A coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So who collected the body? What do you have to say to that about that, Wright? Mr. Godo is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side? How the hell should I know? Oh, gosh. And I didn't get to save here. Then we'll let you go with state the answer and reason, and we'll tell you if you're right or not. I said I have no idea. So no, I don't know how I'm supposed to give an answer.
No. Well, start reasoning it out. Again. I don't have anything to reason out. I have no idea. Ugh. Because you have to submit an answer at some point to the judge. Yeah, I know that. But I still have no idea. Well, can you rule anyone out? Start going through your profiles. I already am going through them. Let's see. Went to the Inner Temple and the night of the incident is now missing. Maya's cousin and Shaolin Prodigy. She was found at the Inner Temple. Maybe it was Mia. Yeah, sure. No. I thought of her, but I don't think so because she's honestly seemed surprised. Because she was the one that told Phoenix that alerted Phoenix to what was going on. So I don't think it could have been her. Larry wasn't up. Was Larry up there before Phoenix? Larry arrived there before Phoenix, but I don't think it would have been him either. Because he saw... Yeah, because he wasn't there yet. I don't think he would have been there yet. See, I have no idea. Because he's too dumb. Yeah, that also. See, I just have no idea. You mentioned an earlier thought you had. What is that thought? Depends on when you're talking about. Well, what I was... Okay, what I was... Oh, wait a minute. Where you were going, I hope they're not... I don't know if... Oh, gosh. Doesn't seem to have any spiritual power. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. And I told you not to say anything about... Oh, okay. This here... Okay, yeah, I remember. Now I know when you were talking about. Okay, at that point, I was looking at this profile. It says she doesn't seem to have any spiritual power. But the thought I was having is, what if she actually does? But I don't know how that would have helped in this case. I don't know how that would have helped her get to the other side of the bridge. So how about a subtle hint that might end up blowing the whole thing wide open? Okay, sure. Like I said, I'm stuck at this point because I can't save now. So I'm listening. Okay, and she couldn't have gone. Interestingly, Morgan Fay also doesn't seem to have much spiritual power.
Oh. Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is, even if she doesn't, I don't know how that would help her get across the bridge. Now administer the coup de gravy. Instantly, Morgan Fay also doesn't. None from Husker Templeton. Wait a minute. No. Oh my gosh, no way. What if she... Okay, was it... Refresh my memory on if it was proven without any doubt that Iris was at the inner... Hang on a minute, let me think what the place is called. Not that. At the inner temple. Was it ever proven absolutely that she ever went there? That Iris ever went to the inner temple? Beyond a doubt that she was ever there. Looking back now, stand by. Okay. Bracing for impact. Okay, so she was sent to the inner temple to oversee Maya's special course. You never saw her there. When you spoke to her, she was at the main hall. Okay, then. So... What this is telling me is that she was not... That the accomplice was not... let me think how to word this right. She was... I'm trying to think how to word this properly. Iris was not... God, like I said, let me think how to word my thoughts right. Just give me a moment. What I'm saying is the accomplice was not the one on the other side of the bridge where the snowmobile was waiting. This is my thought process. Is actively suppressing the old SEG, whatever that means. SEG shit-eating grin. Okay, fine. So my thought. Anyway, you get what my thought process is now. So if it was not, if it was someone else, in other words, I'm thinking it was Iris who was on the side of the bridge waiting at by the snowmobile, and someone else was the one who swung the body over there. Now, there were not many people at but what I'm thinking is ridiculous. Let me think. Who else could have done it? There was no one else at the... Who was at the inner temple? No one else was at the inner temple at the time. Except... This is gonna be so... I don't even know how this would work, but this is all I can think of. So you're theorizing that Iris was on the Hazakura side of the bridge. Exactly! So that means someone else killed Mystic Elise. Interesting theory. Right. Someone else. See, I have no idea where I'm going with this now, when you put it that way. Okay, yeah, when you put it like that, okay, it sounds stupid, so I have no idea where I'm going with this. Remember I told you that if you had the right answer, we'd tell you, right? Okay, so that was not the right answer then. The answer is Iris. Right. Okay, hang on a minute, let me look at this again. Be careful once night falls, it should be there. As soon as you hear the light, must channel. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Her name is... She is the whole... Here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this is burned... As soon as you hear the lights out bell, which that was... Which it was the lights out bell. Lights out bell. Well, fudge, I thought I had... No, I don't... I forgot. Phoenix threw out the evidence for that. Someone get ready to clip the realization. Yeah, if I ever come to it. I'm starting to wonder if I ever will. The answer is Iris. I told you that you were right. Okay. Well, there was only one other person that we know that was over at the... That might have been at the inner temple. But she didn't do it. Careful. This is going to be wild. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura temple side? Okay, I was thinking about the question all wrong. Who is the person that received the body on the Okay. So, yeah, this is the answer. I get what you're saying now. I was thinking about the question all wrong. Who is the person that received the body on the Hazakura temple side?
Take that!
It can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? Ah! But
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from... She likes the critical information, lol. Who's she? Are you talking about me? I've got it now. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. Yeah. You're the only one that could have managed it. Right. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath.
Objection!
I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Goto? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. This is cold, I think. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
But no! I had no idea! I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Objection!
Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is... There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. Dang it, was I right? Her real name is...
Take that!
I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Gosh dang it! The one thing that did not occur to me until just now was the fact that when someone channels a spirit into their body, they take on the appearance of that person, but since they're twins, she wouldn't look any different. I mean, yeah, I'd already had in mind that maybe it was her that channeled Dahlia's spirit, but again, for some reason it did not occur to me that her appearance wouldn't change because they're twins. Anyway, yeah, she's back! Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, bells nonetheless. Huh. It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Golly, is this dude not getting it? Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just wanted to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was about to do this voice again. The honor is all mine! No, the honor is all mine. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. Oh my gosh. It says her execution was carried out last month. I think we know whose milkshakes brings the boys to the yard. Exactly. So what? Death is no meaning in this courtroom. Well, what? Oh, just go to get it after all? Okay. Order! Order! Order!
Well, wait a moment. How can you? My sister, she's already dead. Well, what kind of...
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. The Korean channeling technique? Now where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. Yeah, exactly. The crocodile tears, we're done with that shit. I think most of us are done with that shit. Well, an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes.
Objection!
We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens?
Objection!
It is an odd coincidence, considering what we know. Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It is all written right here in these instructions.
Oh, what's that?
These instructions are written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. Two of them? Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. A plan to administer Elise Stoneham the coup de gravy, pretty much. And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne.
Objection!
Do you even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channel in the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. In other words, Sister Iris, you're a sham. Whoa. What?! Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled... what? Would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the iris that received the body was the real iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There, they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that.
Phew, thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the iris here is the same one from the other night. Huh. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous? Like the real iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places? Switched places? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless I confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? Oh, Lord. Has there been any chances for... Have there been any chances? Yeah, you can definitely bet I'm saving right now. The clip is up, by the way. Okay! Thanks. Thanks, Soup. I'll check it out later. Okay, let's see here. Link it? Okay. Let's see. Have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? Gosh dang it. I'm sure there was, but I can't think when it would have been. Well, let's see what I can do from here. I saved, so let's just see what I can figure out from here. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris' whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? Oh, I thought they were gonna make me figure it out. What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that? I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. We're talking about Sister Bikini, aren't we? Because, yeah, that definitely wasn't her fault.
Take that!
Mr. Wright, there will be no unaccountability in my court. Time. What? Oh, fine. Well, I thought that's who they meant. Well, let's try again then. Because when he was saying it wasn't their fault, I thought that was who he was referring to. Because, yeah, it definitely wasn't her fault. Let me think here. Well, I have no idea who he's referring to then. Wait a minute, her whereabouts were unknown. When was that? See, I'm not even remembering that. Her whereabouts were unknown. What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move out freely and supervised. Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that? Wait a minute. A murder suspect. I can give a subtle hint or an obvious hint. Do subtle. Give me a subtle one. A murder. So he's saying that we already knew that was she was a murder suspect at the time. So that narrows it down some. I'm sorry, I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. Oh! I think I know. I think I remember now. The person who gave Iris a chance to freely move about was... Yeah, I know. Let me introduce you to Wright. Yeah, I got it. I already figured it out.
Take that!
This is Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Yeah, I remember now. He was freaked out by the earthquake that happened. And that was when she got away from him. See, the problem with that, I was thinking further back than during the recent investigation. I was thinking too far back. I was reaching too far back to try to find the answer. But yeah, I remember that. Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? Earthquake! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of Tribulate! How could I have? She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the train hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here! Now see here! No judge's right mind would consider the idea of spinning. Be quiet. Oh, hi! It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. Yeah, I'm really trying to control my language right now. Moving on. That voice. Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. Yep. Dahlia Hawthorne, in my current profession, permanently retired. Ha! So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me. Have I made it clear how much I hate this woman? And again, that's me controlling my language. What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time I'll end it. For her and for myself.
Oh, come on, really? Ugh. Well, so much for finishing this tonight, I guess. Because I assume I still got a long ways to go before I'm done with this trial. Am I correct? Not finishing this tonight. Yeah, that's what I figured. So, yeah, in that case, I think this is where I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for the night. So, I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. And I at least managed to get through this part. I actually had a little bit of a feeling it might not be in tonight. So, I'm not too upset about it. But anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. And I do appreciate the help when I needed it. So I will hopefully be back tomorrow night to continue this trial and I guess maybe finally finishing it up. I don't know. I have no idea how long this trial is going to go. So we'll see what happens. But again, thanks for tuning in and I will hopefully be back tomorrow. As always, you can follow my YouTube channel to be notified when I go live. And also to see my past live streams. And then follow my Twitter account to be notified when I go live. And if you'll stick around, I will be dropping a host. Let's see. Let's see who will host tonight. Okay, let's drop in on Daikon. He who is currently playing. It looks like he's doing a Final Fantasy marathon. At the moment, he is playing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. So let's drop in on him, and again, I will hope one, maybe two more nights likely. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow night or well, like I said, whichever night it is, may also depend on the weather this week. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, we'll be dropping in on Daikon. So I hope you'll stick around for that, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night and take care, everyone. Bye. Oh, and something I forgot to mention, before I started my stream tonight, I noticed I now have over 100 followers. So, yay for that. I don't know when exactly I got my 100th follower, so... But it's definitely a new landmark, so I'm a little happy about that. There are 5 testimonies left. Oh, wow. Yep, that ought to be fun. Well, I will, again, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, and take care, everyone. Bye. But 5 should be doable one day? Okay, sounds good. So, like I said, it's just a matter of what day I'm able to stream again. Because we really have storms in the forecast pretty much the rest of this week, so I don't know how that's going to go down. Okay, anyway, I'm heading off for real now. So again, have a good night and take care, everyone. Bye.